All right. Welcome to scene 6 of Black Tower Tales. Um, my name's Body, by the way. I don't know that I've ever actually mentioned that before. But I'll be the DM player here tonight. And when we last were in this world, we were following Nyx and Wiggins, Shadowcloak, who had just escaped some bounty hunters and were found a castle actually in the night, or actually in the afternoon after they had escaped, and were trying to find some place to stay and rest for that evening, for the next evening. But as they were investigating a craftsman shop, they found a skeleton behind a pile of boxes and attacked them. And so,
Oh, great.
per the mythic generator, what I think the next logical scene is Nyx and Wiggins exploring the castle. So I think a lot of what's going to happen in this episode is going to be generating the castle, finding out some basic information about it. Because at the last scene, the castle was just sort of a backdrop to figure out what was going on with their current situation. But now we're going to flesh out the castle some more, I think. But the first thing we do when it comes to this castle and the expected scene that we are going to be having is to roll versus the chaos factor, which is 3. Oh, I need a d20, d10. And we got a 6, so that's over the chaos factor. So we're in the expected scene, which is my thinking of it was seeing that the skeleton was there, and he knows there's some danger in this area, and feels like it's important to sort of scout out the castle, at least the area directly around the craftsman shop where they were planning on setting up for the night. And because Wiggins knows that skeletons generally are magically enchanted, he thinks maybe there's some magic around this area that he could use. Maybe there's something similar for him to get a new wand or something like that, or to at least start off on the right foot in enchanting a wand. Or he uses a dagger wand type thing. So we have the expected scene, and what we're going to do, and like I said, this might take up the entire sort of episode, but we have this Solo Adventures Toolbox Part 2 that talks about generating castles. And so we already know we're in a small castle, and we already know that it's basically abandoned and utterly ruined. The next thing we need to find out is, like, on the ground floor, how many rooms there are. And we're not going to worry about the other upper levels or basements right now, unless they come up later while we're exploring rooms. That might be a couple scenes from now. But we've got D8 rooms on the ground level, which is going to end up being 3 rooms. And we already know what one of those is because it's the craftsman. So ground floor, 3 rooms. We also know that because it's a small castle, one of the things that I probably would have rolled earlier if I was generating this castle on the fly at the time is how many watchtowers there are for the castle. So we got 1d2, so we're going to go high as 2. So there's only one watchtower. And my question for the mythic generator is this watchtower basically ruined? Like, I think their watchtower is there, and they're only noticing this watchtower now because they're more interested in the layout of the castle. And I think it's likely that this watchtower is basically ruined and not standing up as high as it once was, which is why they didn't see it in the first place. So I think is this watchtower ruined, basically. So we're at Chaos 3, very likely. 47. So yes, we needed to get under a 50 for that to be a yes roll. And quick aside, I realize I've never had, in the 5 scenes before this, I've never had a random event come from asking the mythic generator questions. And that seems like it doesn't make sense. I have a bad habit of rolling doubles on these D100 rolls and not realizing it, because if you roll doubles and the value on the dice is less than or equal to the chaos value, you get a random event. We've never had that happen, and I suspect that I've missed one at some point, but that's just on me. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but one of the most fun things about the Mythic generator is the possibility of sort of anything happening at any time. But anyways, now we know there's 3 rooms on the ground floor. There's 1 watchtower in general. We don't know the name of the castle, which, if that comes up, we can generate that. Castle, ooh, don't go anywhere. 1 watchtower. Three rooms. One of the rooms is a craftsman shop, woodworking shop. Kids' toys. So now we've got this, the exploration tables for this. So what we can do is roll on this D4 for a random location or go for a set location. So I'm thinking of random location, and for this one we'll be we'll just go with the random location. I'm not sure what the set locations are. I don't review these tables very in depth most of the time before I roll on them. But we're just going to go with whatever this roll is, and it's going to be a combat practice area. So this is one of the other rooms. And we're going to say that this combat area is where Nix and Wiggins explore, at least to start this scene. So, combat practice area, if the castle is inhabited and it's daytime, there is 60% chance, blah, blah, blah. We're not inhabited. So, what we do for this is we bring out that 60-12 table once again. Right here. And this is going to basically determine the contents of this room. Again, this is we go for the trigger values here, which are going to be the standard room. So it really depends on which dice rolls which way. We're going to go with, we've got a 12 on the modeled, 11 on the clear. So black is a 2, so that's nothing. Blue is a 3, that's also nothing. White is an 8, which means there's a feature. Modeled, which is this blue and red, I guess, is a 12. So that means there's an NPC here, a feature, an NPC. Yellow is an 8, which is there are mundane items. And then 11 clear, there's a skill challenge. So this room has a lot in it. So I'm thinking this is going to be great for our scene. And the thing that comes to mind is I want to generate the feature, which is something we're going to do here real quick. We have a 139. 139 is the skill challenge page, so we're going to just keep that. There we go. But for the feature, we've got wilderness features and dungeon features. So this is closer to a dungeon than a wilderness. So we're going to roll this D100 to see what's the feature in the combat area. The feature is 65, is a random item. Okay. So we're going to be going to 163. Lots of rolling on these sorts of things for solo playing. We go on the first D100 table. And that's 65. Broken pole. Okay, so I think that makes sense. So there is, I'm going to say the NPC is sort of standing at the center of this combat area. It's basically a flat area that's filled with mostly sand and maybe hay, things like that, in order to keep any mud down. And in the center, there's this what probably was some sort of jousting pole or something like that, but at about 3 or 4 feet up, it's got this jagged edge to it. Jagged jousting pole. And next to this jousting pole is our NPC. And honestly, I feel like that random item also uh, covers our mundane item. We don't really. I don't think we really need that item. Just say a bunch of items are around. Like it makes sense that there would be items hanging around. This is a combat area. There's probably like some sort of staff, some sort of shovels, maybe a pitchfork for the hay. If that becomes relevant at some point, we can revisit that. But now we've got the NPC and the skill challenge. The question I have is which should we generate first? I think if we generate the skill challenge, that might inform our NPC a little bit. So that's what I'm leaning towards, and we want 139. And we just roll another D100. It's one big table. 34. Okay, so with this skill challenge, we find evidence of a nearby small mining operation. Make a DC intelligence check. If successful, you know who is mining there. So that since we know our skill challenge is related to the NPC that's there, I'm going to say that the NPC that's there is actually a miner who's leaned up against this broken pole and he's injured. And now we need to figure out like what's the nature of this NPC. I think there's some stuff in here on that, but I don't know where to get that right off the bat. So I'm gonna reference a different table that I have here. So he's a miner, but we can now generate this NPC modifier and noun to find out sort of what's the nature of this guy. He's a 94. He is a passionate 74, a passionate adventurer. So, okay, I like that idea. So, what that says to me is that this guy is, and we're sort of speaking as the DM side of things, not the player side of things, because especially in solo RPGing, a lot of the time you have knowledge in your head that the characters aren't going to have, and so you really have to be careful you're not letting those things bleed together and making the characters act in a way that wouldn't make sense if they didn't know the things that you know as the player dungeon master. But I'm going to say that this miner is he's passionate about, mining and surveying and geology and things like that, and that's his way of being a miner, is like he goes out and finds these places for a mining company or something to come and extract resources from the ground. So what I think is he was surveying the area, and he and his party probably were ambushed by something, and what he did is he sought refuge in this castle, like for the same reason that Nix and Wiggins did so. Party ambushed, sought refuge. And I think that's like, so what happens here? The actual scene here is Nix and Wiggins step out of the workshop, turn around the corner, are looking more, investigating the castle proper, and they see this big clearing that's got some jousting things, like dilapidated weapon racks, and they see this guy sort of just leaned up against the this big pole in the center of the clearing. So they go running up to him. They say like they see that he's injured, that he's sort of nursing a wound in his side. Maybe in I think is he like really bandaged up? Like how badly injured? Actually, that's a good question. Is he? We know he's injured. Is he physically injured or mentally injured? I like the question is he physically injured? That's a 50-50, which is going to be oh, that's the wrong table. 50-50. Is he physically injured? 50-50, 25. 93. So not only is he not physically injured, he's mentally injured, and he's very mentally injured. So okay, because this is a hell yeah result, or a hell no result for the yes no question that I asked the generator. So he's injured. He's a freaking crazy man, and he's not sitting there nursing a wound. He's sitting there, head in his hands, sort of just muttering. Actually, is he yelling to himself? I would actually no. He's freaking crazy. He's sitting there. They come around the corner. They see him, and he's just like flat out yelling. That's why they came in this direction in the first place. Is that they heard this guy. After they came out of the workshop and moved a little bit in this direction, they heard this guy freaking yelling to himself, like they're talking about geology and like why his party like got away from him or something like that. And what I think is going to happen is we talked about a skill challenge, and I think Wiggins and Nix, as they approach him, the skill challenge is basically related to them like trying to get information out of him before he goes crazy and does something to them. So what I think they're going to do is it's going to be like some sort of, I think Nix is going to use her, this is going to be, I'll say a D4 heart challenge. So only one heart. And Nix is going to attempt to like use her charisma to talk to him and try to get information from him. And I'm going to say this is target 12, so it's not the easiest thing in the world, but she has a +1. 15. So yeah, so with that basic effort, she does 4 towards that. And then I think what Wiggins is going to do is he's going to like sort of, instead of like trying to get information, he's going to try to calm the guy down. So I think we're going to have two competing tracks here. We're going to have the one heart system for getting information from this guy, and then another heart system for how crazy he's going, basically, because he's seeing these other people that he's never seen before, and his mind is going off the rails, and basically Wiggins is going to try to calm him down while his mental state is constantly going up. So I think Wiggins is going to have a D4 heart challenge, so he's got to go 1 heart. So this is info, and Wiggins is going to try to calm him down. And the way I'm gonna do the calmness thing is that it's like a 1 heart challenge in either direction. So if the craziness heart, the calmness heart basically goes positive to 1 heart, then Wiggins gets him calmed down. His episode sort of ends. And if the heart goes negative, the guy's just gonna go crazy, and we'll see what happens. We don't know. So Wiggins is going to try to calm the guy down with his own charisma. This is target 12, a 4, so that does not succeed. And now I think we're going to say that the guy is trying to keep himself reined in. So the question is he able to hold himself together? And then we're going to say he has his own charisma, but it's going to be a 0, I think. Um, is so a pass here would be his crazy level doesn't go up. So he passes. And so he stays relatively calm. And now Nyx is gonna again try to, try to extract some more information out of him. Try to be like, hey, where'd you come from, man? How'd you get here? Why are you all alone in the wilderness? It's a target 12. She has a +1, and she gets another 4. So she's actually almost complete on her information gathering with this guy. Now it's Wiggins' turn. Trying to calm this guy down. 11. He doesn't have a +1. We're at target 12, and so he does not keep him calm. So I think it's going to be a hard challenge for our minor guy to stay calm. So he's got target 15 when he has a +0. 16, he does make it. All right, so this guy is, Wiggins didn't really help at all, but he got sort of surprised by them coming up to him and talking to him, and now he's just basically staying pretty calm. Now Nyx, for the last time, this is going to be target 12. And +1 does not make it this time. But then now Wiggins realizes he's not upsetting the guy, but he's not really doing a great job in keeping him calm. So I think he's gonna try something crazy, like he's gonna sing a song or something, trying to be like, "Hey man, don't worry about it. It's all good." And I think this is going to be hard because he's not the very most charismatic guy. But I think he's going to have target 15 for his difficulty. But if he makes it, he's going to get a weapon effort roll, an improved dice for the effect of his calming actions. 11 does not make it. He wouldn't have even made it if it was easy. And I think the question is, does the singing upset the guy? I think it's 50-50, so 25. No, it doesn't upset the guy, which is fine. But now we're going to see if the guy goes crazy. Target 12 to keep himself calm. A 20. So he actually succeeds very well keeping calm. And that means Wiggins gets a D4 and a D6 or a D12 for his ultimate effort. And ultimate effort dies, if I remember correctly, explode in Index Card RPG. So you can get a bunch of effort if you roll really, really well. But let's see. It's an 8 and a 1, so that's 9. So I just lost my train of thought. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Wiggins was trying to keep him calm. No, this is the guy keeping himself calm. I'm not sure. I think he's got a 9 for how calm he is. I lost track of what was going on. And now we're going to go back into Nyx's turn. And she rolls a 20 as well. So not only is that guaranteed to get her to the 10 that she needs, she might go crazy. And okay, so that's only a 4. So she goes up to a 12. And that completes her information gathering. Like she's sort of able to talk him like intuit what the heck he's talking about. Like she finds out that he was a part of this party that was attacked by something and got wiped out. Let's see if we can find some descriptors of what attacked them. Oh, that's a D20, not a D100. .28 is a energetically. I like that. Energetically. Inactive. That's funny. That's okay. Energetically inactive. So, okay. She finds out that in the area around the castle, basically there is a statue that it's inactive, so it's a statue, so it's inactive, but it's energetically powered, so it's got this sort of chaos power around it that is causing this guy to go freaking crazy. That he and his party found this statue, and let's say I like that. I think they camped next to the statue because it was near where they wanted to survey, and it was a nice landmark. And what happened when they camped near it is like they just some of the party members or some of the adventuring party members just went crazy and started killing each other and had bad things happen to them. So it's a chaos statue. And the question is, what happens with the calmness? So I think Wiggins is still going to be wanting to keep this guy calm. And he rolls a 22. Damn. Okay. Holy shit. So I like this. So I'm thinking, especially early in these types of campaigns, when there's only two, or I started off initially with one, it's like it's really easy to just like try to find ways for everyone you meet to join the party. And so what I'm thinking is like we got this amazing roll with the ultimate and we're already close to success. I think if we are able to get over 20 on this roll, basically if we roll 11 or more on this ultimate die and the D4, the D4 and D12, I think that's going to lend it towards we're going to flesh this guy out some more, maybe have another session 0 type thing, and basically work on from that point on, assuming the guy is going to join the party. 4-8. So 17 is so the guy's officially calmed down now. He's not really going crazy. He's not really screaming next to the thing. And I'm going to say that's the skill challenge done. They are the guy's calm. He's sort of able to, definitely recount his story and what the heck went on at this chaos statue sort of in the area. My question is does this guy think that he can find his way back to the chaos statue? And I think that's going to be a very likely. He's a surveyor type person, but maybe he just doesn't have any information. I think that's likely. I don't know that it's very likely. Or chaos 3, and that is a 10. And so yeah, that's almost a hell yeah. So yeah, he's going to be able to find his way back. All right. And then I think that covers our feature, our NPC, our skill challenge, mundane item. Does this guy have gear on him? Like, is he? I think it's unlikely. I think it's really unlikely that he does. But we still got a 10% chance. 58. So no, he doesn't have. He basically has just the clothes on his back, maybe a a pouch or something, maybe a little dagger. But basically, he doesn't have any gear. No serious like gear that you would expect on someone out in the wilderness. And so yeah, I think that that's going to end the scene that we have here. I think this is a new thread. This is a new thread, the chaos statue. And then there's this new cast guy. I think actually this gives us 2 cast members because there's the miner, who is as of yet unnamed, and then the cast, which is the surveying party, I think is what we would call it. And now, as far as setup for scene 7, chaos factor honestly is going to go down again. Because we're not really getting crazy stuff to happen. Like if he had gone crazy and attacked them, or if we hadn't been able to get any information relatively quickly, maybe. But I think that chaos goes down. Chaos goes down to number 2. And then target, they did sort of have a pretty easy time keeping this guy calm, so I think the target goes up. I think things are just need to be, ramped up a little bit in difficulty. They're having a bit too much easy too much of an easy time. So yeah, that's the second room of the castle. We'll probably figure out the next room uh, next time, and then they're gonna actually figure out what to do with this miner as well. Are they gonna leave him here? Are they gonna try to bring him back to their safe house? Uh, we'll figure that out next time. So have a good one.